So this is a trip to northern Sweden to the national park of Sarek, and I'm just going to show you where it is. This is Lofoten Islands here, Norway there, Sweden here, and this is the Sarek National Park in there. It's quite far north in Sweden, above the Arctic Circle. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit now, and this was a 14-day tour here altogether through the national park, and I started at somewhere called Ritsem here, and this was day one, skiing across the lake. Day two was from a cabin here, Akastugana, up over the outflow of this lake, and then up here on the south side of this mountain range here called Akka, and I camped there the night. Then I went up Rutisvaga, stayed the night there, and then up to Mikastuga. That was on day four, stayed the night here. And then on day five, I was very lucky with the weather. I managed to go up here, up the glacier, up this very steep ridge, and then down again, up to the top of Sarektjahkka, the highest mountain in all of Sarek's National Park. Then day six, I went from here up Kupavaga and then down Algavaga to this place here, which is a very lonely chapel in the middle of nowhere. I had intended to stay the night there, but it wasn't suitable. So the day after that, I came up here. This was pretty much in a very bad visibility. I got to about here, but then the visibility got so poor that I just camped the night. The next day was a bit of a storm, so I just spent the whole day rather in my tent there. I was there 36 hours. Then finally I escaped from there and came down this huge valley here, which is Sarvasvega, and all the way down to the top of Rapidalen, which is also a very big valley. That's this valley here that comes all the way down. I spent the night there, and then I could have come out in one day to Aksa, but I decided to spend 2 days coming down Rapidalen, which is a unique valley. So one day to here, and then the next day to Aksa. When I got to Aksa, I didn't have to camp anymore. I was back in cabins and things like that. So now I decided that I would have a day off there just to kind of clean everything up, and then I from there I was on tracks and things. So I didn't have to make my own tracks anymore. I was on tracks and things. So I came from Aksa over and down this beautiful valley here to Porta. That was my last cabin there, and then from Porta, I skied about 4 hours down to Kvikkjokk, which was the end of the trip there. So that altogether it was 14 days in all. I'm just zooming out again to show you where it is.
So this is me just setting off for a tour through Sarek. At the moment I've left Ritsem and I'm skiing towards Akkijaura. That means crossing Akkijaura Lake. It's about 11 kilometers and taking about 3 hours to get to the Akkijaura. After that, there's no huts or anything like that. Akkijaura is a hut. That'll be where I spend my last night in comfort. After that, it's 12 days in a tent. So this is, as I said, heading off through Sarek. Everything I have needing really is in the sledge there behind me. I suppose it's about nearly 60 kilos at the moment, and in the background is Ritsem, and in the foreground, that's where I'm heading now. That mountain there is called Akka. It was perfectly clear about an hour ago, but it's slowly clouded over. So the weather forecast is good for a few days, and yeah, that's just in the bay ahead. That's where I'll eventually be spending the night. That's where Akastugga is, and then I veer to the left. I'm just panning around now to have a look at Akka Lake itself that I'm skiing over. That's the lake, and that's round to the sledge there with, as I said, about 12 days worth of stuff in it. 12 days of food, 5 litres of fuel, the tent and everything. So this is day 2. I've left Sarektjahkka and I'm now going up to Kilometre area, and then I'll head southeast and go up Sarektjahkka. But yeah, the snow is absolutely perfect, the weather's absolutely perfect, and I'm just yeah, it's one of those rare skiing days. The sledge, you can see behind me now, I've got the bedding and everything on it. I don't know if you can see it. There's the bedding, so it's following quite nicely on this flat terrain. And I'm just going to pan around now so you can see the what I'm skiing. That's this is the frozen river here. That's in the distance. That's the little hill between Kilometre and this valley here. I did have the option to go up this valley straight ahead. I'll just zoom in a bit. The valley there, but I was a bit worried about it. Loose snow, forest, and there's a lot of kind of steep slopes caused by gravel. It's gravel being dumped by the glacier long ago, and then it's been eroded away. Just panning out again, and there's the massif of Sarektjahkka again in all its glory, the queen of Lapland. And I'm just coming round now, and there's the sledge. Zoom out a bit. There's the sledge there. So that's day 2 so far. So I'm still on day 2. I've gone round the hill to this. I went to Sarektjahkka Lake and then to Kilometre rather than do the little cut through on the southwest side of Sarektjahkka. And I'm now going up just above the tree line now, just heading up towards the magnificent mountain Nyack, which is where Sarektjahkka starts. Nyack is basically the northwest point of a long ridge, about 20-25 kilometers long, which includes Sarektjahkka, the highest point on the ridge. I'm just going to turn around now so we can see the other side. Yeah, that's Nyack there. Just zoom in a bit at that magnificent mountain. And anyway, I'm going to the right of that mountain, up Sarektjahkka, and I'm just going to pan round now to see Sarektjahkka, and that's Sarektjahkka there. Well, the Sarektjahkka massif, you can't actually see the top, I don't think. And then this is I'm just zooming out, that's the cut through there on the southwest side of Sarektjahkka, which I could have made this morning. In retrospect, I think I would have been better off going that way. It would have also saved me about, I suppose, 3 hours. I've been going about 7.5 hours now, and I suppose panning back again. The next thing now for me is to find somewhere to camp, somewhere between me and Nyack there. Not much shelter though. So I had a very easy night last night. It was relatively warm also, just down to about -15 I think, only 10 in the tent, and I'm now skiing up the start of Sarektjahkka, which will lead me right into the heart of Sarek, which is pretty much Skarki or Mikastugan. That's Sarektjahkka behind me, fantastic mountain. That's the highest point there, just on the left hand side, and to get up it, there's a little, you go up the left hand side ridge, and there's a little jagged notch which you have to straddle for about 5 meters just to get up to the very summit. Now I'm going to turn around and have a look up Sarektjahkka. So that's Sarektjahkka there. That's the magnificent buttress of Nyack. Another fantastic day, really. Great brightness, fantastic light up here in the Arctic, and also completely still. If I stop, there's just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just me on my own here in the middle of nowhere. I've seen a couple of reindeer tracks, and I saw a fantastic Arctic hare yesterday, which I managed to get a photo of. But yes, it's another great day, and all in all, everything's going well. So this is day 4 of my Sarek trip. This is probably the best day yet. Absolutely stunning weather. Wind, no wind at all. Beautiful sky, and it was very cold last night. I spent the night in a snow-filled shed, and it was absolutely freezing. Maybe about -20, but certainly making up for it now. I suppose that's the price of a good day, is a cold night. But I'm just skiing up Rutersvågen now, and the scenery here is stunning. I'm just going to scroll round. So that's looking off to my west side. That's Sarektjahkka and Sarektjahkka glacier. There's a little, right in front of the screen now, there's a little valley you could cut through Sarektjahkka. It goes up to a lake, and then you can come down just in one of the valleys on the left-hand side there. It's much easier than it looks. The valley's much bigger. And then that's the main Rutersvågen here. The mountain in the distance is Sarektjahkka, and Sarektjahkka, well, not really a hut, it's a little emergency telephone, is right at the foot of that ridge, and the other side of that is Sarek. And then I'm just going to scroll round. This is some of the mountains I'm skiing up beside, and just going round, and that's where I've come from, down there. About 40-45 kilometres back there is Ritsem, and I suppose Sarektjahkka about 30 kilometres back there. So I'm still skiing up Rutersvågen. I've now got the tracks of the Finnish guy who I met yesterday, another lone hiker skier through here, pulling a pole, and his tracks are they're godsend to follow, make life much easier. I'm just going to pan round now and show you where I am. That behind me is the where I've come up. So that's Basat. That's the valley there that I mentioned earlier, that if you went round that mountain you could come down that valley. I said it wasn't as steep as it looked, and that's it there. And then this is the rest of that Ruters Massif. And then coming round, that's just the start now. You can see the Olkat Massif there, and in between us and that massif, you can't really see the massif, it's around the corner a bit, but that's Sarektjahkka, a large valley, a large valley I'll be going down in a couple of days, down to the Alkat Chapel. Coming on round, there's another massif there in the distance, that's Sarektjahkka, and that's straight ahead, Sarektjahkka, and just to the left of Sarektjahkka is the Skarki Massif, and in between the two is Rappedalen. That's the huge valley that goes all the way down to Akse. And then coming on round, that's Sarektjahkka there, and the Sarektjahkka glacier just the other side of that, and Sarektjahkka, the main mountain in this massif, will be just the other side of that. And just panning on round to give you an idea of what I've just come up. That's looking back down Rutersvågen there. Okay, and it's an absolutely glorious day still. So this is me just now coming to the end of Kuperväga, and that's Sarek directly behind me on the right hand side. That's Sarek Stortop and Sarek South Top. at the end of the glacier there's a glacier that goes up to the Sarektjahkka glacier, which I hope to go up tomorrow if the weather's like this. And anyway, so that's me now heading down towards two little, a private cabin and an emergency phone, and I'll maybe make base camp there. So I'll just turn around, and that's that's looking at Sarektjahkka. We'll go back to Sarek. There, that's Sarektjahkka there, and coming round, that's looking down Sarektjahkka. Nyack is well beyond the end of that, right at the end. This is the Rutas Massive coming round. That's Sarektjahkka, I think, and then that's Sarektjahkka right in the middle, Sarektjahkka rather, which I hope to go down in a couple of days, and Sarektjahkka on the right hand side of that mountain. Coming round a bit more, that's the Sarektjahkka Massif, and then coming round here, you might be able to see there's two little cabins. One of them is just an emergency phone. I'm not sure what the other one was. There used to be a cabin here about 40 years ago, but it was either burnt down or someone burnt it down in a kind of no buildings policy. But if the emergency telephone cabin is empty, I might make base camp there. Coming round to that's the Skarki Massif, and then you can't see the Apau Massif. It's behind there, but behind this buttress there, and between the two is Pastavega, a very deep valley which I went out once, but it's quite avalanche prone. And then coming round again and right round to Sarek again. So that's the full 360. So I'm about halfway up the glacier now, and it's a different day altogether. Much warmer, probably only about -10, and absolutely glorious. Wind still, just perfect. And anyway, I've also fortuitously come across the tracks of another set of skiers who must have been here perhaps the day before yesterday, maybe even yesterday, as there's been no wind in the last kind of 48 hours. But that's enough of me. Let's pan round a bit. So we'll start with that. That's Vargtoppen, and then coming down, heading towards the saddle where I'm going to, just there. The ridge I'm hoping to go up. The other set of skiers' tracks there. That's the main ridge, Sarek Stortop, South Top. And then coming around, and there's a magnificent bowl of snow, another glacier really, all the way around there. And I might as well go pan right round to where I've come up. Well, I'm still slogging up the glacier. Not far now, probably another half hour until I get to the saddle. Feels very liberating without the pulk. You can just go where I want. So also I've got my full skins on. I'll show you a picture of them soon. But yeah, with them I feel I can just go up any slope really. With the sledge I feel I could. Well, with these skins, I could almost haul a railway carriage rather than a sledge. But the real beauty is in front of me, not me. I'm just going to pan round. So that's Sarektjahkka, where I've come up. Well, I've come up to the left of that, but just going round here, there. That's the saddle there. That's, well, hopefully the ridge is a bit easier than that on the other side. I think it is from my last time. Panning round. That's south top there. And then look at this view down there. Look at that. That's where I've come up. And that there. I'm just going to zoom in there. That's over to the Porty Massif. Look at that. That's probably about 20 kilometres away. Absolutely stunning. So this is me just heading up the west ridge. It's much steeper than I thought, but seems to be going okay so far. I'm just going to do pan round. That's the way up. And that's what I just come up there. I've got my crampons on and my trusty ice axe. Just having a bit of a breather on the way up. Hopefully that's the last of the steep bit, and after that it evens off a bit. Just panning round now to the north. That's Sarek National. That's a huge glacier there, the north side. I could have come up the Sarektjahkka and gone down that glacier. Way in the distance, well, middle distance is Sarektjahkka, and far in the distance is Kebnekaise. Coming on round, there's Akka, the Massif of Akka, and that's what I've just come up there. That slope there, which is, I suppose, well, feels like about 45 degrees. Yeah, following from the last video, this is now the finished the steeper bit. This is now shallower bit, maybe 30 degrees up to that top, and then I hope it evens off even more. And just panning round now to the south this time. That's the south top, and then this is Sarek Massif there in all its glory. Arguably the best wilderness area in Scandinavia. Another 360 now, starting from the north. That's my shadow. I got my skis on, well, on my rucksack. Coming round north top. That's the final bit up to Sarek. Stortoppen, going round to the south top. And now panning south over the Porta Massif, Pilaripa Massif, sorry, first. Now Porta Massif, and then the Rutas Massif, and that's Sarektjahkka just disappearing on the left-hand side. Coming round, and this is the main massif here, with Naik right at the end of it. Coming round, and that is over in the distance the Akka Massif again, with a small little notch in the middle of the highest one. So this is me now at the top of Sarek. I'm a lucky man. It is absolutely stunning up here. I have been up here before, but I couldn't see anything. I came up here once with my friend Stuart about a good 20 years ago, and in my wildest dreams I would never have thought it would be this good. I'm just gonna, I don't know if you can see there, No, it's perhaps too difficult to do that shot. What I'll do is I'll turn it round so we can have a. That's the general area here. I'll go in a little bit. So way in the distance, that's the mountains of Norway, possibly Oxtind. Anyway, coming round here. This is looking back down the whole of the Sarek Massif there. Nyack is pretty much centre now, right at the end. Then coming round, that's the Akka Massif, the highest point with a little hack in it. Coming round again, that's Kebnekaise area, way up there. The lake down there is Akajara, and then coming round, that's Sarek Nord Peak. Very difficult to come over there. I went to the top of Nord Peak once, hoping I could get here on a beautiful day, but that ridge there flummoxed me. It was just too much. Coming on round, that's looking down to the, well, eventually to the forests of the Baltic, and that's coming round. I'm just going to get over here. In the distance there, what you see is Upper Massif, and then coming round a bit more, Skarki, and that's Kebnekaise South Top, and then in the distance, that's Bieloripa Massif, and then coming round and you've got Bieloripa, Porti, Balkat, and eventually coming round it's back to Oxtind again. And I reckon that this is certainly the most remote 2,000 metre mountain in Scandinavia, but arguably, well, I've been up them all, and this is probably the one with the best view. This is the glacier, Mykne glacier, I went up this morning, and that's my tracks going up there. And then I went up to the saddle, and then up the other side of this ridge here, and then onto the crest about there, and then I followed the crest all the way along to the summit about there. It's one of the very impressive cirques in the Sarek Massif. This one is well, it's an extension of Sarektjahkka glacier, and that's Buktoppen I'm looking at, and just panning south round. And then that's, you can see a big Vindgryta there, and then Svartspetsen, that mountain obviously there, and then carrying on down. Right, that's me off the glacier now, and I've just got a couple of kilometres to go until I get back to the shed at Mika. It's going to be a cold night again tonight. I can feel that, and everything is a bit sweaty. My boots, my gloves, but I can honestly say I've probably had the best mountain day I've ever had in my 40 years of coming to. Well, it's been 40 years since I've been coming to Sarek, and I've always wanted to climb Sarek in good weather. I've done it once in bad weather, but that was it. In winter time also, first time in winter. So an absolutely stunning day. I'll cherish this until until I'm old and infirm. This is me skiing back the tracks I made this morning, back to the Mikastugan hut. You can just see it in there in the distance, and these are the tracks that I that I forged this morning. This is me on day 6 now, and still buzzing after yesterday. What a tremendous day that was. Had a nice night in the cabin. Got down to minus 25 again. That was outside. In the cabin there's only minus 19. And anyway, so now I'm heading down. That's Kupervaga, well, up Kupervaga actually, and then I'm going over to down Alkavaga. I'll pan round so I can see again. So that's Kupervaga straight ahead, and I'm going up Alkavaga. As you can see, the weather's not not as really as good as it was yesterday, but it's wind still, and you'd still take it. That is the looking down. That's in the direction there of Mikastugan. Sarek and everything is covered in mist now, or cloud now, and those trees there, they're the start of Rapidalen, and the valley straight ahead, that's Pastavega, which is a way out to avalanche-prone way out to Sarektjahkka, which you could take. It takes about at least 2 days to get to Sarektjahkka. So that's that so far. So these are my skis, and it's got the new Nordic norm bindings, which are much easier to fit and everything, and less vulnerable, I think. And you can just see the skins there. They're hooked on the front there, and they go the whole length of the ski. And now they're nylon, but in the olden days they used to be seal skin, so they glided one way, but when you tried to slip back, they jagged into the snow. Anyway, so I'm now just going up Algavaga. That's the Ålgård Massif there, which I've never really been in. Although I did go up through that pass there. That's up a glacier to a saddle, and then down a glacier on the other side, and that takes you to Sarektjahkka, but that's much too steep for this pulk. And coming round now, that's the big mountain that divides Kupervega there and Alkavega, where I'm going up there. This is that mountain there, and you maybe notice that there's a reindeer, a fence here. Yeah, that's for the reindeer. This area divides two kind of herding collectives, and the Sami who herd the reindeer here, they've got certain license to do things in the park that the rest of us don't. Like they can drive a snow scooter around just only to do maintenance of reindeer fencing or maintenance of their cabins and things. Of course, the Sami were here long before the national park. They've been here for thousands of years, whereas the national park's only been here, well, I guess for about 120. So I'm now heading down Alkavega. It's probably about another, I guess, 15 kilometres down here to the lake. There was a chapel down here once, about 40 years ago. I stayed in it. It was full of snow then, so I think it's probably blown away by now, unless someone's maintained it. But I'm just going to pan round now to have a last look at Sarek behind. Oh well, we'll look down Alkavega first. So that's Alkavega there. Huge mountain, Sarektjahkka on this side, a long ridge, and on the other side, just coming round, we've got the Ålgård Massif, and there's back to Sarek. I'll just zoom in a little bit there. Yeah, that's the Sarek Massif. You can just see Sarek Stortoppen and Sarek South Top. Well, the Stortop's just obscured by the mist. Great. So I just crossed Alkavara Lake, and I just spotted the chapel, Alkavara Chapel. It must be the loneliest religious edifice probably in the world, really. I mean, it's absolutely in the middle of nowhere. But it probably serves for, but it did serve for the Sami when they're up, when still up here doing their herding, the reindeer herding in the summer. I'm just going to turn round to it. So that's it there, perched up on top of the hill. I can see the roof is still on. That's a good sign. Hopefully, in the words of Governor Norton, salvation lies within. Yeah, so this is me at the chapel now, and yeah, it seems to be in very good condition, really. It's been done up. Just look at the Stockholm Tower on the roof there. So I'm just going to try the door, and if it is open, I'll be spending the night in here. So Well, on second thoughts, perhaps not. Oh, that's a disappointment. Wow. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. But, yeah, what a spectacular place this would be. But unfortunately, there's too much snow has come in here, and I'd really be better off in a tent. Still, let's go and have a look outside where I'm going to camp. So I'll be camping here somewhere, and tomorrow I'll be heading south to across the lake, through the drumlins there, and then to the start of a valley there. There's two valleys there. One of them is called Sarektjahkka, and that cuts right through Sarek, separating the Porte Massif from the Olcad Massif, and I'll be taking that valley all the way up until it meets until it gets to Rovdeer Torget, the Predators Market at the start of Rappedalen, and then I'll follow Rappedalen all the way down to Axie, which is an infamous homestead, which has also got a little small STF cabin there now. So it'll probably take me about 3 or maybe 4 days to go up those valleys, up one valley, and then up Sarektjahkka, and then down Rappedalen. So that's the tent up in the vicinity of the chapel. Absolutely solid tent. I'm only using 4 stakes at the moment, but there's I'm using 5 stakes. I'm using my skis, my stakes, and my ice axe, and that's the tent there. Hellsport Patagonia, absolutely brilliant tent. And let me take you inside. Let's have a quick look at the view, and then inside the tent I have my cook bag there. That's all my stove and fuel and everything in it. That's my bedding sack, and that's that. A bit untidy at the moment, but it'll tidy up soon, I'm sure. Right, well, there's a bit more organisation now in the tent. That's the foot end of the tent where my feet go. Just coming round. It's just stuff that's been stored here and there. And this is the main area of the tent. That's my kind of working area. And then in the outside, we've got I've got a small brush and dustpan. That's just to either mop up the snow that comes in, or the dustpan I use to scoop snow into the melting pot. It's just having some water in there now. That's my cooking pot and cooking bag. Inside there I've got a spare pump and another 3 litres. I've used 2 litres so far. And then this is the bedding system here. I've unwrapped it all, and I've got altogether there's a liner somewhere in there, a vapor barrier there which I sleep in, and then I've got a down sleeping bag, and then I've got a synthetic sleeping bag over that, and then the whole thing goes into a Gore-Tex bivy bag. I'm not an army man, it's just that I managed to get that cheap from Army and Navy stores, but I'm in doubt as to what use it is. It's a Gore-Tex bivy bag, but it still seems to be very damp. Either that or the vapor barrier is not working properly, because the sleeping bag's slightly wet. This is day 7. So I woke up this morning, and there seems to have been a light slow in the night, and things have clouded over completely. You can just make out the odd ridge here and there, lower ridges, but the upper mountains are all lost. However, I've had 6 absolutely stunning days, so a little bit of snow really can't complain too much. And as a consolation, the temperature's risen from from about -25, and it's now about -10. So there's a silver lining to that cloud also. It's very tricky skiing today. I've already had a couple of incidents. I can't really see the lie of the land at all. So on one occasion I was skiing on a slope and it just got steeper and steeper, and suddenly my pulk slid away. And I'll just show you what I'm skiing in at the moment. Forwards. Yes, it's that. You can perhaps make out the odd little thing here and there. I can see there's a boulder up ahead. I don't really know if that's 100 meters away or 10 meters away, but I'll soon see. I was probably about 20 meters away, and I've also had to. I was following a slight river, and it went into a gorge, and it was very tricky coming up through the gorge. But I'm making progress, but it's slow and sure, and I can't really see anything. It's not a fun day. Well, I started coming up Sarektjahkka. I've been going for about 6 hours, having to plough through quite a lot of new snow. But I decided it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's not getting better. I can't really see where I'm going. I'm not enjoying it at all. So I decided I would just pitch the tent and call it a day here, and hopefully tomorrow will be better. It gives me about 20k to Rovdeer target, which is my ambition, but we'll see if I get there or not. Anyway, this is the end of a foul day. This is day 8, and I've just got up and to fiddle around with the stove a bit this morning, so quite a late start. It was quite breezy in the night. It's still quite breezy now. To know when I'm going to go for it or not today. Looking at this now, I think I might be better off in my bag. I'm not going to make much. It's going to be hellish work, even though the wind's behind me. So I'll probably just go back to bed. Well, this is day 9. Day 8, I just spent all day really in the tent there, which slowly got more and more buried. But I can't spend another day there. It's just my hips are sore lying down so much. But yeah, that's how much snow has fallen. The tent though is very warm and cozy, and well hunkered down, as you can see. The wind would just pass straight over that. So what I'm going to do now is just take the tent down, dig out my pulk, which is buried somewhere in there. I think that's a bit too much. I think that's my pulk under that, and then head up the valley there. There's a bit of visibility. I can just see the hills on each side here, so that'll give me something to go by anyway. But whether I'll be able to see the small nuances and ridges of the snow, I don't know yet. So I finally broke free of the spot where it's hunkered down for the last 36 hours. The tent, as I said, was really embedded in there. It was absolutely bomb-proof in a way for the weather. I mean, I'm sure it could have withstood any kind of storm, but it was difficult to get out. Anyway, I'm now heading up Sarektjahkka. I've still got about a few kilometers to go up, and the problem is the snow here is pretty good, really. I mean, the snow is hexagonal crystals, perfect hexagonal crystals that fall, but then they get blown around, and then as they're blown around, the arms on them break off, and they become more compact little ice balls, and they compact together. Well, that's what I'm skiing on at the moment, and I suppose I'm only sinking in about 5-6 centimeters, and the sledge even less. But as I get over this watershed, and the wind hasn't been so vigorous in blowing the snow along, it'll be much looser. And as I get down into the forest, they might not have been compacted at all, and then I could be up to my knees. But I'm just going to pan around now. Going up Sarektjahkka, as I said, it's a classic U-shaped valley. So I'm just panning around now Sarektjahkka, which is a classic U-shaped valley. you've got, I suppose, ultimately the Porte Massif on this side, going up to 2,000 meters, and then coming down. That's the bottom of the valley here, and then you've got the the Alkat Massif going up on this side, and Sarektjahkka is just cut straight through the middle of them. All I have to do really is just keep myself in this not too bad a light. I can see where I'm going anyway. I can see some definition in the snow. Over the watershed, which is probably in about 3-4 kilometers, and then down the other side for about 10-15 kilometers until I get to the forest, and then the snow, as I said, might get a lot deeper. Well, the wind hasn't diminished at all really. It's got up a little bit. There's a lot of spindrift heading down this valley, so I'll be heading eventually, I suppose, to the birchwoods down at the bottom where I'm also going, so hopefully it's not piling up down there and making life impossible for me. But yeah, so far I've only done about 2 kilometers from the pass itself, and it seems to be, well, it's just dying down, but that's nice. But it's difficult to see where I'm going. Where I'm supposed to be going is there, but so I just have to kind of pick my way down from friendly rock to friendly rock to orientate myself. Well, since the last video, I've been through the most intense little mini storm, I suppose, really. I mean, the spindrift was everywhere. Sometimes visibility was good, and then the gust would come through and visibility would be down to 10 meters, well, 5 meters really. I just had to stop and wait there because I couldn't see at all where I was going. There was one gust of wind that was so strong it took me, blew me over, and also rolled the sledge about 3 times, and as a consequence it broke one of the stays, but luckily the stay has got a wire. What I pull the sled with is essentially a wire, and the stay is a fiberglass sheath to the wire, so the wire is still holding. But I've now come down a fair bit. I've done about 10 kilometers today, and the weather seems to be improving now, and I'm over the worst of that bit. I think it was just where the 2 valleys, Najdaripa and Sarektjahkka, the 2 valleys were channeling in together, creating some sort of, I don't know, double effect, Venturi effect or something. But anyway, now I'm into the first of the trees, and I'm just going to stop here for lunch as the wind at last seems to have died. I'm just going to pan round and show you what's around here. So that's the Paleoripa Massif. Up beyond that, huge massif again. Looking down, that's down to Sarektjahkka. And right there in the middle now, I think that's it's probably the Rapidal is probably still around the corner. It's probably still another 10 kilometers, and that's only about 6 or something to get there. There's a big buttress, and then that's the valley I came through a couple of years ago. No, not a couple of years ago, 14 years ago. And then just panning round and showing you what I've just come down, which looks very benign now. Just in the 20 minutes or so since I've been having lunch, the weather's changed completely, and it's now absolutely pleasant. The blue sky appearing everywhere, and anyway, I thought I would take my my big skins off. So that's the big skins there, and they go right the way along the length of that ski there. I've taken them off and I've replaced them with these short kicker skins, which are only about 2 foot, well, 60 centimeters long, and those hopefully, well, they'll give me a lot better glide. More sliding, well, bottom of the ski technology is wax, which is this there. That's a blue extra, the national wax of Norway, and that pretty much does as a jack of all trades and master of none. So looking down the valley again, and now panning round to look where I've come from. Oh yeah, it doesn't look that nice up there. Well, it seems normal service is being resumed again. Here comes the sun properly, and it's quite astonishing to think that just 3 hours ago I was being blown off my feet, and the pulk got lifted up and twisted round with enough force to break a stay in it. But anyway, I'm well down Sarektjahkka now. you can probably, well, I'll pan around later to have a look up, but I'm heading down to the meeting of Rappedalen and Sarektjahkka, which is called Rovdyrtorget. I suppose that's Predators, I said yesterday market, but Predators meeting place. And I'm not far off now the tree line, so I'm just going to switch it now into, and that's where I'm heading down there. This is Sarektjahkka. That's the on the right in the middle now. On the left-hand side of the valley is Sarektjahkka, and then on the other side is part of the Sarek Massif. Rappedalen is before that, so that's how far I'm going. I'm just panning round a bit now to the north. That's the valley I came down 14 years ago, connecting the two. Well, from Kupervagga, it's the glacier way over from Kupervagga, and that's looking back up Sarektjahkka. And there's a big plateau up to the left-hand side there, Lutaloka, which I had thought about going up, but I'm just beyond it at the moment. It's too far to go up there, and I've only got a day's worth of fuel left. It's more of a kind of summertime place, and if I went up there, I'd either have to come back down this way or over the Portig Glacier, or make a direct exit straight to Sarektjahkka. But I wanted to go to Axis, so that's not possible. So this is us. Normal services resumed. I'm now at the Rovdyrtorget, as they call it, the Predators meeting place. Of course, the chance of me seeing a predator here, which would be bear, wolf, wolverine or lynx, is extremely remote, almost nil, I would say. I mean, the bears will be hibernating now. The wolverine, extremely canny, they'll be keeping a big distance from me. The lynx, I don't know if they're that plentiful here, and wolf, extremely rare. But I might see marks from them. But and this is pretty much where the Sarektjahkka joins the Rappedalen, Rapsalet. I'm just going to pan round a bit and let you see where I'm heading. So that's the Sarektjahkka there. The stream open in some places, just got to be a little careful here and there. And then that's round to where I've just come from. That's Sarektjahkka right up there, and absolutely beautiful Arctic light again. It's just the almost luminous white. The clarity of it's exceptional, and I've only seen it up here. Of course, one track you will see here is ptarmigan. They you can see just in the centre of the picture there now, one's hunkered down in the snow. They hunker down in the snow there and then remain hidden. They're almost buried. There's a whole lot also have been around that tree there, around the base of the tree in the middle of the photo now. And there's more tracks all over here where they've been hunkering down in the snow and then coming out to nibble on the new sprouts. Hopefully I'll actually see some. This is beautiful skiing through the birch forest at Rovdyrtorget. It's quite thick snow, but just a little bit down here I should get to the actual Rappedalen. So I've just crossed the Rappedalen river, the Rapatno, and if we look round there, that's going up to Mikastugan, and that's where I've come from. That's Sarektjahkka. And then I'm just going to pan round now to that's Sarektjahkka, and we're going to look down Rappedalen there, and that's my task for the next 2 days. These are just huge lagoons here. Well, it's a wide valley with many deltas and lagoons and things, but in these lagoons in the summertime you can sometimes see the very large elk that this area is renowned for grazing in the shallows of the lagoon. And I'll probably carry on round there, and I'll probably camp somewhere between me and those trees over there, i.e. in the next couple of 100 meters. So this is day 10, and it's sunglasses out. Yeah, after the barometer has been going up, it's gone up from about 980 odd up to now it's 1,030 and still rising. So I fully expect the next 5 days until I finish to be absolutely stunning. But this is absolutely glorious morning. I'm now in Campton Rapidalen, and we'll just have a pan round to see where I came down yesterday, which is down there. Those are my tracks coming in last night. It was a glorious evening last night, and just panning round. This is the Skarki Massif there, and I'm camped right under it, and then I'm just looking down Rapidalen there. I'll just go on round to have a look at that magnificent mountain there, Pilarepa, and going on round to Sarvisweg, as I said, where I came down yesterday. I'm just going to pan back to Rapidalen, and some skiers went down this morning, so they've made a path all the way. Axe is about 30 kilometers down there. I've decided to split it into 2 days. Rapidalen is something to savour, not to rush. So I'll go down to pretty much the end of that ridge, and then I'll be able to see Namach and Shirfi, which will be what I'll be going for the next day. So there's plenty to see down Rapidalen. Lovely birch woods, lots of ptarmigan in the woods, possibly rabbit, fox tracks. I don't think I'll see any of the big animal tracks like wolverine, or certainly not wolf or lynx, but you never know. This is day 11, and it was a beautiful morning, but it's deteriorating very quickly now, and everything's clouding over. I don't know if you can see the sun has pretty much vanished from there, and there's a huge bank of cloud coming over. But I'm skiing through the woods now, through woods and through parts of across parts of the delta here. There's tracks to follow. This is quite these are the Belgium tracks I'm following, and probably about 6 kilometers or something to go until I get to Axe. So I should get there for lunchtime, and just watch the strip, get there for lunchtime, and yeah, so I'm just gonna pan round, see where we are. Just skiing under this magnificent mountain there, Shirfa. I had hoped to go up there tomorrow if the weather's good. It's an easy enough ski from Axe, quite a simple day tour. There's a mountain of Chakali, and looking on round, all that was blue sky just well, an hour ago really, when I left, and that's Namach, where I've come from. Well, this is the old homestead at Axe. I think it used to be owned by the Lanta family, and up there in the trees beyond that long low building is the Swedish tourist training cabins, and that's the path up to get there. So I feel a bit like Julius Caesar marching back into Rome, dragging the spoils of war behind me. So this is day now 13, I think, and yesterday, day 12, that was a rest day. I had it at AXA, just cleaning everything up and relaxing, eating, drinking coffee. And anyway, I've left AXA now. I've got 2 days to ski. One day across the lake, Lautiura, and then over a small ridge, and then up another lake, Tjahkka, I think Lake Tjahkka, to a cabin called Porti, and then from Porti down to Sarektjahkka, which will be the last day, day 14. So anyway, I've been going for about an hour or something like that, and I'm just going to pan round where I am. This is the lake I've been skiing over. This is the edge of it, just about to get to the southern end, and that's the little rise to go over to get to Tjahkka Lake. There's good tracks all the way here, so this is quite, and it's even marked across the lake, so it's quite luxurious skiing now. Everything's very easy. Just coming round, and then the distance, just in the clearing there, you can maybe see AXA. I'll just zoom in a bit. Yeah, there's the fabled homestead of AXA going out again. So that's that's day 13, I think. So this is me at the end really now of day 13, was it? And anyway, just skiing along Kungsleden, which is basically a long distance walk in Sweden that goes from Abisko to Hemavan. They say Kungsleden is one of the greatest walks in the world, but it's not. I don't think it should be in the top 10 anyway. But it's a lovely walk. Now, it's part of the reason I don't rate it that highly is because it's quite commercialised, motorised rather, and I'm now going along quite a big snow scooter trail. I'm just going to turn around so we can have a look. That's what I'm skiing down. Makes life very easy. I've only passed about, I suppose, 15 scooters today altogether, but they kind of wander off into the forest, and the whole of Kungsleden is also marked by those red crosses. So it's certainly not like Sarek. However, on the other hand, it makes very easy skiing. It's very sociable, and I'm just about to reach the last hut, Porta, which will be very comfortable and nice and cosy, and should have a good atmosphere in it. So this is day 14, and I've now left the very charming Porta cottage, Porta cabin, run by the SDF, and I'm skiing basically the last 15 kilometres to Sarektjahkka. I've skied across this lake now, Sarektjahkka Lake, and after that I've got about another 8 kilometres to go on this glorious day, and a lot of it's downhill, a bit like a kind of mild version of the Cresta run, where the snow scooters have kind of beaten a track in the forest, and I just kind of whoosh down it. In the forest itself it'll be almost impossible to ski at the moment. The snow will be about 1 metre deep. I'm just going to pan round to show you where I am. So this is the end of the lake. You can see all the snow scooter tracks here. They'll narrow up when they get off the lake. And I'm just going around now. That's the kind of taiga-like forest, very thin fir trees to shed the snow so they don't break. And that's going around. That's Sarek in the distance there. That's part of the Porti Massif there. I'll just zoom in a bit more. Yeah, that's all the Porti Massif there, with a couple of 2,000 metre mountains up there. And just zoom out. That's the scaled down version of the sled, and that's looking back to the lake I've skied across. So, as I said, just about another 8 kilometres, probably just a bit more than an hour, because much of it's downhill, and then I'll have arrived at Sarektjahkka. That will be the end of a really quite magnificent trip. And this is pretty much the final run down to Sarektjahkka. We've got the pulk charging along behind me, and just going to turn, that's the One crash here and the poke will keep me going for 50 meters.